Good morning to all of you watching me. How are you all today? I think I'll wait for a few people to jump in. As I wait, let me sift my flour. We are making chapati, and I hope I am audible. I really hope I am. Let's see, let me add my volume. Hello, hello, hello. I hope I'm audible. I put my volume up all the way. I'm trying to do it this way because I need you guys to see what I'm doing rather than looking at me. So welcome to the channel. This is Gladys Miss GK. I am going to do a step-by-step on how to make chapati from scratch, the softest layered chapatis you've ever made. So we'll start by making the dough. I just have all-purpose flour, white all-purpose flour here. So I'm gonna measure, and I prefer like when we sift the flour so that it helps to incorporate air. So sifting helps to incorporate air into the dough. Okay, all right, so let's do that. Oh, I got a missed call on this other phone. Let's see. How are you all today? Yeah, I think I'll call them back. It's fine. Yeah, so that is two. So I was saying the purpose of sifting is to incorporate air, and air is considered to be a leavening agent for your chapatis. And why sift your flour? So you know how you want your chapatis not to be what's it called, not to be doughy and like to have air. The only way to do it is if you've incorporated air into your chapatis. So that's three, right? That's three. This, I cannot see any comments. Let me know where you're watching me from. So this is three. We're making chapatis from scratch. So three. That's four. Comment down below where you're watching me from if you don't mind. And do you like your chapatis with what? Sugary or savory? This is four. And even if it seems that you're wasting time sifting your flour, believe me, when you sift your flour, it helps. It really helps the chapati in like becoming soft. So you always want to do that. That's five. Welcome guys. Please like the video. So a leavening agent doesn't have to only be baking powder. Air is underrated as a leavening agent when it comes to baking. So always do that. Always sift your flour when you're making your chapati. And honestly, from the time I started like sifting my flour, I noticed a big difference, because you see how the flour sits and it just like sits lumpy. If you compare when you sift flour in the same, like if I'm to return this back in here, I have to like, take the air out for it to like be compacted in here. So that's what I'm trying to do to enable, my chapatis to be very soft. So the first thing, always remember, sift your flour, okay? It's not Christmas. Somebody's asking if it's Christmas in America. That's why we are no, it's not Christmas. It is, yeah, this is one of the dishes like we used to do, like, when you're making chapati, it's Christmas time. I lost count. I think that's like 8, right? I think that's like 8. And then 9. So yeah, always try and sift your flour when you're cooking your chapati. That way it can really enable it to be softer and not dense. Okay. And then the other secret is, remember, chapati, or rather any carbohydrate, is sweet in its own. It has its natural sugar. So I stopped adding anything but salt to my chapati. I used to put sugar, but I stopped putting sugar and I just started doing only salt. And it turns out the salt on its own makes the chapati even much better. So, and then when you're measuring, I think each cup, how I do my measurements is, I know each cup of flour is about 2.5 chapatis. So this will be like yielding about 2.5 chapatis. So, or if you want the smaller ones, not the very big ones, then it would be 2, but I like to like make it a little bit not too small, because once I cook it, I can cut them into quarters than, you know, than rolling too many of them. Yeah, so I think that should be 10. So that would be about 20 chapatis. That should be good enough. I think I will stop there. So that's about 10 cups. And then what I do is, for each cup of flour, I start by putting in shortening. So I put shortening, and I'll put a tablespoon of shortening for each cup. So I'll put about 5, or I think 10 will be too much. Okay, that's 3. Let's see. 4, 5, 6. I think I'll do 7. Or let me add one more. I'll do 8. So that's shortening. So whatever shortening you have, but it has to be shortening. It cannot be butter. What is the difference between shortening and butter? I know butter is a byproduct of, like, you know, butter has a short smoking point. So when you're cooking your chapati, you want a fat that has a higher smoking point. And shortening does that. Shortening is just like the, you know, for me, I'm using vegetable shortening. So it's the same version of the vegetable oil, just that it is solid. So that's what you want. And then go ahead and rub it in. Okay? Rub your shortening into your flour. Now, when you do that, it also enables you're still like incorporating more air into your chapati. You remember eating them in India? Yeah. So like I was saying yesterday, if you didn't watch my pilau, I did a pilau recipe yesterday on the live, and I was telling you guys how we acquired a lot of food from India when, I'm originally Kenyan, or rather I'm Kenyan. So part of that too, that's why you're saying you've eaten it in India. I forgot to put my salt. So as usual, I'm going to eyeball. So I'll only put salt, no sugar. I think I'll do about like 3 of that much salt. And I have 7 tablespoons of shortening, and then I rub it into the flour. Okay? Now, if you want to use brown flour, make sure you're mixing a little bit of the white, because what happens is the brown flour does not have The gluten strands are not that many, so it does not hold properly. You want to make sure you add a little bit of the white flour. What ratio? You can do about a cup of brown flour to about a quarter cup white flour. It doesn't have to be that much. It has to be at least some for you to be able to get at least softer brown chapatis. 972, somebody's calling me. 972, 972. Well, I'll call them back later. Swahili dishes are commonly found in India too, yes. A lot, because remember during the barter trade, back in the day when we were trading spices through the Indian Ocean, when they did that, they were exchanging a lot of spices for, I don't know, coffee, whatever we had from the coastal region back in Kenya. So, and you remember it was the port for most African countries. So the Indians, when they were bringing in their spices, they taught us how to cook a lot of their food, because you can't give us spices and you don't tell us what to do with it, you know? And then I guess with just them settling around that part too, they did a lot of, they taught us how to cook a lot of dishes. So you will find if you travel to Kenya, the coastal region, it has a lot of Indian influenced food. So that's a fun fact. Like we eat a lot of Indian food. We don't eat a lot of roti though. I don't know why we prefer chapati to roti. And then pilau, we have a lot of, but not too spicy again. So a lot of Kenyans don't eat a lot of too spicy food, but it's the same. The curry chicken, goat curry, the lentils or like beans cooked in coconut, and chapati can be eaten with all the above I've mentioned, goat or like beans, or you can just eat it on its own with coffee or tea. Or I have seen now they've done a lot of fun stuff with the chapati. You know how like you can do an egg, when you're doing an egg, what? You just make your egg, beat up egg onto the pan, and then you put a chapati on top. What do they call it, Nairobi teacher? They call it chapati, what? They have a name for it, but yeah. So, so now at this point, let's see. Use both hands. Make sure I'm just, I don't know if I'm too close. Let's see. Yeah, maybe that's better. These angles. But at least you can see. My point is I want you to see what I'm doing, not necessarily see me. I want you to see what I'm doing. That's what's so important here. Yeah, so we just have white flour, about 10 cups of flour. I put 7 tablespoons of shortening and salt. That's the only ingredients I have in here. 3. That's it. Maybe I need to even call it a 3-ingredient chapati. I have done pumpkin chapatis before, and they are awesome too. You just boil your pumpkin, and then once it's still nice and hot, you blend it and then use it to make your chapati. It makes it a little nice and sweet, and yeah, then the color changes. It becomes a little orange looking. So after that, this is what we shall do. My work surface is clean. Okay, so believe it or not, this is the secret. You want like the softest chapatis. Believe it or not, you have to use hot water, not like cold, hot. I just took out my I have my kettle of hot water there. It's boiled. So hot water, not lukewarm. H-O-T, hot, steaming water. All right, so I have I have my kettle here. Here's my hot water. See how steaming hot it is? Using a cooking stick, put in your hot water. Okay? Because I've been doing it for so long, I know it will be about a kettle, and it will be the full one for about 10 cups. Yes, hot water works magic. Onto the chapatis. Steven, who is this who's saying Hamisi? Yes, Hamisi says that. So I have more coming. I had boiled some, and then have some on the stove. So what the hot water does, it helps to reduce the gluten from forming, and it helps to reduce the time you're kneading. Okay, so I need more. Bring some more. So I had boiled this one. Now, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to put your water as long as you have flour. So have some flour on the side in case you do too much. Why am I cooking at night? It's not at night. I'm in the US. It's like 5:30. Yeah, I forgot to say that. I'm in the US, so it's after work. It's 5:30 in the evening. So yeah, after work, so I'm making some chapati. Yeah. So it's not too early. And I don't know why. These days I love to cook. Like, it's crazy. It's like my distressor. I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know why I love to cook these days more than I used to before. So yeah. So now, how do you know that it's enough water? Once the flour you see, I don't know if you can see the bottom. You can see the bottom, right? No, maybe not. Once the flour is all like mixed in, I'll know it's enough. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think the water is enough. So maybe I should have measured for you guys. Maybe I need to do, I'll do a precise measurement for those who like precision. Maybe I'll do that for you guys. So in the meantime, let me take my, take this and that. I think I need a knife too. Okay. So at this point, I will dump the whole thing. My surface is clean, so I'll dump it onto my work surface and knead it a little, okay? Because what I want to do is I want the mixture to all mix up, but you can also do it like in the container, but I prefer to do it on the surface. That way everything mixes up properly. Okay, so I know it doesn't look like it's ready, but just watch the magic. Okay, trust the process. See how it looks like a big lump of nothing, but just, and then it's a little, it's not that hot because I guess the flour being cool, it's not too hot to the touch is what I mean. Okay, and then you just mix it. Okay, yeah. Ooh, it feels nice, especially like in the winter. If you're doing this in the winter time in the States, oh my gosh, you feel like it's nice and warm because it's normally so cold. Yeah, so then mix it. Your dough, you don't want your dough to be too hard and not too soft, okay? Then as long as you're mixing everything together, it stays properly. And you see how my dough is really soft, right? That's how you want it. You want it a little soft. I'm just gonna put some on the bottom so it doesn't stick too much. And just keep mixing until everything comes together, okay? And then if you do that, it's normally so easy to roll it off, when you're doing now your little circles. It becomes so easy to roll. If you want a little bit less, I don't think can anybody cook like 10, 5 chapatis? It's impossible. Chapatis, you want to at least cook 12, if not 6. No, but even 6 is too little. So this will produce about 20, or if I cut them smaller, it will produce more. So depending with the size. So this will be about 20 chapatis. Yep. Okay. So keep kneading. Keep kneading. It's a little work. So this will be my workout for the day. Yeah. Right. Okay. Mix it. What do you like to eat your chapati with people? Okay. I feel like I need to add a little bit more flour. It's a little too soft. Just to the surface, not necessarily to the dough. Okay. All right. Now, at this point, I can cover it up and then come back and work on it. But because I want to show you guys the whole process, I will try and let it rest. If you don't mind, you'll have to come back for part 2. Not necessarily now, but because I like to give it at least an hour to rest. But I'll do the second step and then let it rest, then come back and we can cook it, okay? But for now, I will try and finish it. Okay. All right. So let me put some flour on the surface. Put a little bit more flour than I would like because it's so soft. It's too soft. Okay. And then I will roll it up. Okay. So I have my rolling pin. People prefer different sizes of rolling pin. Personally, I prefer the one that kind of, you don't have to put pressure on it. You just like do that and it, you know, it rolls. So just depends with your preference. Right, so then I will make a big, I'll roll a big circle. Okay. I want to make it as wide as I can, as my surface will allow. Okay. Wish y'all can see the whole thing, but my angles will not allow that, but it's fine. Okay. And then get my oil. Yeah. I don't have oil. Okay, I do have oil. Okay. So, let's see. So this is just vegetable oil. So I'll put vegetable oil on the surface. Okay. So this is liquid. You can also just use the solid, but because of the ease of what? Application, I prefer the liquid, but you can also use the solid. It's okay. And then sprinkle flour. Okay. So sprinkle flour. Okay. And then fold it in. You'll see the fold coming. It's coming. Just be patient. I don't want to move the phone. So you see it. So and then I'm folding it in and like pushing it down to, like, you know, to tighten the fold, if that makes sense. This thing is huge. I should have cut it into two, but it's fine. Ooh, it's huge. Okay. Okay, I can do that actually. I can work on half and then come back and work on the other half. Yeah. I need more flour on my surface. Then fold it up. I mean, roll it. So I'm trying to make it even so that I don't have one side is thicker than the other. The center always tends to be thicker. You see that? Once you let it rest, all this flour is going to kind of like soften, so don't worry about all the flour I'm using. Once it's settled, I mean it rests, it's going to absorb into the mixture. That's why I'm giving it time. And then once you've worked on it so much, giving it time to rest helps to soften it more. The truest test of any dough to be the same size is to put it on a scale. So it can never be the same size, but I'm just going to approximate. Okay. I think that much should be good. Then all I do is just press it to itself and it's good to go. Then I put it on a surface. I'll cover it with foil and let it rest for about an hour. Come back, roll it out and cook it on a pan. Okay. So let me put it there. I'll get my container here. So that's all. You just do that. Okay. I'm just cutting it and pressing it into a circle. About that much. You can kind of tell also by, you know, about that much. If you want to make them smaller, you can too, depending with the size you like. If you like it, see, there are two different sizes, so depending with the size you like. Maybe actually I can make them this size. I'm liking this size. Yeah, I can make them a little smaller. But if you're just cooking for yourself, if it's for sale, of course you wanna, you know how we do it, right? But it shouldn't be too small also. Just medium size. Yeah. Okay, it's still very nice and warm. And I think I can reduce these ones that I cut earlier. I can reduce them a little. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Otherwise, where are you watching me from, and have you eaten chapatis before? 1.5 to 2. The rule of eating chapati revolves around 1.5 to 2. Yes, it's a lot of work. Anyway, people love chapatis. Missy says the rule of eating chapati is 1 to 2. One chapati, 1 to 1.5 chapatis. I know, like, but it's hard. Only 2. Yeah, chapatis are nice. It's really a nice dish to eat. So I'll just form these ones into a circle. And then I think I'll add the back side of it. This one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. 1, 2. I could do 4. Yeah, I could do 4. And it's so soft, I'm telling you. So tender. But yeah. So that's the secret. Now you know. Now you know the secret, right? Oh. Okay, let me get a surface to put these ones and cover them up. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right. I have my tray here. I'll just put a little flour on the bottom. I don't want them to stick to the bottom, and then I'll place them here, cover them up with the shrink wrap, or you can use a wet or a damp cloth, your kitchen towel, damp kitchen towel, and that should be good. Just trying to use one. This one seems to be bigger than the rest. I'll cut some out. Okay. And then I'll do the second. Remember, I cut it into 2. So I have my second half. Do the same thing. Otherwise, where are you watching me from, and have you eaten chapatis before? The difference between chapati and roti is that chapati is cooked same, I think it's almost the same method. Actually, even with the Mexicans like to eat what they call tortilla. It's the same method somewhat. Only thing is tortillas, I think they use lard. Some people use lard. Same process for, you know, how to incorporate the oil. They use lard in the mixture. I think this should be my little girl. Let me tell her I'm coming to pick her. Mama? Hey. Umesema nini? Sahi. Aya, nakuja. Aya, nakuja. Okay, bye. Yep, so sorry. All right, then. Oh, I was saying roti, they don't use I think they put oil in the dough when they're making the dough, but when you're frying it, it's a dry fried sort of chapati, but it's the same exact method. Okay, So let's see how many we have so far. 4 times 4 is 12, so that's 15. I want to do at least 20. Maybe I could even get 22. Yeah, this size is fine too. Yeah. All right. I'm trying to rush because I did too. Watching from Budapest. Oh, Budapest, Hungary. Oh, but from Mombasa, Kenya. Okay. Do you like to cook chapati? Do you make your own chapati? Or you wait until you get to Kenya? Budapest. Wow. Okay. Thank you for coming and watching. Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I'm really trying to grow the channel. I've neglected it for so long, and I just keep telling myself, and what's the word? Pinching myself for not being so active on my YouTube channel. I'm so active on my Facebook, and Facebook, Facebook is not what it was before. Before, I think I made some money on Facebook, but now it's like, it's different. It's not how it was before. When they did the reels on Facebook, I did a lot of that and made some good money. Not too good, but it wasn't bad. Yeah. So I have 4 channels there, but I'm sort of not being too active there. So let's see. I think this is 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 4. What's 6 times 4? What is 6 times 4? 4, 8, 12, 16, 19. Okay, so 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, 26, 27. That's an odd number. I wish I made 30. Are you like that? 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's 29. That's an odd number. That is such an odd number. I'll try and make one more to make it 30. Or maybe that's fine. 29 is such an odd number. How can I do 29 chapatis? Anyway, so what I'll do is get my chicken, my clean kitchen towel, damp it with some water, just dumping it with water here while rinsing my hand off the flour. Okay, that's 29. Oh my gosh. And then cover it up. So what I'll do is I'll leave it here for about an hour. Yeah, and that's it. Karen Cockrell, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Watching from the US in Alabama. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. So I've just kneaded chapati. I'll let it rest for about an hour. If you've come late, if you don't mind, you can watch from the beginning. It's not too long. I think it's about 25 minutes long. I'm trying to make my videos short because I know nobody wants to sit for like an hour to watch a whole video. And then we shall come back, roll it up. So I plan to come back and still do it here. Ifoma, hi. Thank you for coming. I just finished making chapatis, kneading the chapatis. So if you guys don't mind, you can watch it from the beginning. I need to rush and go pick up my little girl from school. And then we come back and now do the second step of rolling and cooking the chapati. So thank you for watching. Please comment and like the video and keep it locked here. I plan to be more consistent. I promise you guys, you'll be tired of me cooking. So yeah, otherwise, thank you for watching. So let's come back after an hour and finish cooking the chapatis. Okay, thank you guys. Alrighty, see you here in a little. Okay.